Guten Tag and welcome back to Erlebnispark, Lilienburg, and this is the Planet Coaster series on YouTube where I build a traditional German theme park which is very much inspired by Tripsdrill, which is obviously a German theme park. And in this episode we are gonna be doing a lot of work on the main attraction of this park, which is a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster, which I've decided to call RoterBlitz, and that will have this whole themed area around it. The first section of the ride is indoor and a lot of the queue line is also indoor, and that explains why we have this huge show building. And of course, with it being a big building, that is gonna mean that there's a lot of work to do to decorate it, and that is mainly what we're doing in this video. Obviously we don't have to decorate the whole way around the building because there are sides of it which won't be shown to public, so that stuff on that side will just be very plain and I guess utilitarian, so that staff can still access it. So I've already put some access paths in, and just some miscellaneous bits of props and stuff for staff to access it, and yeah, that kind of thing. And straight away now you can see me making this almost hallway corridor thing, and this is actually where the exit of the ride will be. And yeah, using these cross beams here that are made with iron girders, I think, maybe iron beams, I'm not sure the exact name of them, and also the flanges from roller coaster supports, and yeah, they just fit the steampunk, very mechanical feel of the ride very well, so I'm actually using them for theming, which you probably don't see very often. But yeah, this hallway does have a nice glass roof over the top of it. To make this glass roof I didn't actually use glass, I used these decal pieces which do have patterns of dirt on them so that it makes your walls look more realistic. They are Theme Maker Toolkit items that I managed to put them on the roof so that they look like glass, because actual glass had a bit of a weird texture to it. Some of the borders of it could be seen which didn't look very realistic, so I think it looks better with decals in. And yeah, we are then going back to it to add this cross beam, which I think is just the finishing detail of it all. It really makes it look a lot better. Yeah, just showing how it would be supported and stuff like that. And I have been having a lot of inspiration to build this lately, and that is because a ride that you probably all know about by now called Fly at Phantasialand has recently opened, and that is very much a steampunk themed area just like this. So yeah, I have been taking some inspiration from that, which is quite useful. Yeah, they open it pretty much around the same time that I start to build RoterBlitz, so cheers Phantasialand for that, I appreciate it. And yeah, we are then making these blueprints, which were actually TMTK items. Again, I took these from Fly's queue line. I did watch Sean Sambrook's queue line walkthrough, and I saw that there were some blueprint pieces, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I could use that. And yeah, I found these pictures on Google, and yeah, they were quite good quality, so I got my good friend My Curious Mind, aka Ashley, to make these into TMTK items for me to use, and they do look really good. I think they're already on his workshop. If not, I'll tell him to make them public, and he's probably watching this now. Ashley, make them public so people can use them, because they're really good. If you've already made them public, then I'll shut up. Anyway, now on to lighting. Yes, there aren't really any windows in this queue line, so if the game didn't have broken physics, it would be pitch black as soon as there's a roof on the top of this. So yeah, the queue line would definitely be best viewed at night time so that you don't get the light just unrealistically shining through walls. And yeah, again, we're using these custom support flange things to make these almost custom fences. I guess, are these called air gates, or is that, yeah, I don't know, I think they're called air gates. The gates that separate where guests stand, and that just separate in front row from second row. But yeah, the in-game ones just don't look that great, I guess. They just, yeah, they're really generic, and it's annoying that you can't move them. There's so many things I could rant on about this game, and I know that many other content creators will agree with me about this. We don't need air gates. Can't you just have a path that the guests follow, or you should be able to move them? We need more customization in this game, and it's not like Planet Coaster on PC is going to get anything new. It's all about the console edition, which, when's console edition going to be out? It's been going around for ages. I think Christmas time around, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we're putting these signs in, Österreicher and Zweiterreicher, and I went to Germany, and at GCSE German I did quite well, so my German's not the worst thing in the world, so I do know a couple of phrases. I mean, I might have used Google Translate for that, but okay, just, yeah. Yeah, so front row, second row, obviously it's a German theme park, so I'm writing those in German. And yeah, we covered up the actual ride operator cabin because it's too small and it just doesn't really look a whole lot realistic, so I decided to make this room, which is the actual operator cabin, even if it's not the in-game one, maybe, I don't know. But the wall that is where those cross beams were, the wall behind that, if you look in there you will find the actual ride operator. And yeah, I feel bad for the person behind that wall, because they're just, if they've got claustrophobia, they won't be very happy. I don't know what I'm on about. It's been a long day. I apologise if I'm waffling too much in this time lapse, which is actually at 20 times speed, and some of you were telling me that 20 times speed is too fast, but if it wasn't for 20 times speed, this video would just be too long, and I can't speak for that long either. And I don't want to just give you time-lapse footage because I feel like I'm a bit worried that you sometimes only watch to hear my voice. I don't know why you would want to do that, but yeah. So I usually get about 6 or 7 hours of footage, and that's just the bits I record. There's lots of things I do off camera. For example, we're building the station right now, and I don't finish the station in the time-lapse, but I have finished it off camera. Yeah, sometimes I work a lot more productively if I know that I'm not being recorded, so I guess that's a bad thing, but it is what it is. But I think the thing I'm most excited for about this whole series is just the cinematics, because they're really fun to edit and I can really show off everything as it's completed, because these time-lapse videos don't always have everything in. I try my best to show you all the important bits. I'm not sure if you know this, but these time-lapse videos have been very tightly edited so that I can get rid of all the boring things. When I sped it up to 20 times, the video is about half an hour long, so I've gone through quite a lot of footage just to cut it out so that you can always see something happening. And we are now making something in this station, and this station was inspired by Baron 1898 at Efteling, or should I say Baron 1898, and yeah, you can see these cogs. Baron is actually themed around a mine shaft, so yeah, they have cogs and stuff like that, so that's where I got the idea to make these big cogs to fill up the gap between the air gates. Yeah, I was looking at reference images a lot throughout building everything that you'll see in this video, and a bit later on I'll explain my inspiration from the other things I build. But yeah, I was looking at a reference image of Baron's Station to make this, and yeah, so again, I want to make it look sort of realistic, that the cogs could actually work, so that's why you saw me there putting different supports across so that they have something to rotate around. And yeah, that's all you're going to see from the station. I have finished it and I'm really happy with it, but yeah, I wasn't recording that unfortunately, so you're just going to be watching me begin this restaurant, and this restaurant is going to be called Blitzessen, so it's just, it links to the name of the roller coaster RoterBlitz. And the actual inspiration for this whole restaurant building was Carla Kolbenfresser at Tripsdrill, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, that's just a big brick building and it looks quite cool. I think it's not really got much intricate detail, but it just looks nice. It always has the sun on it, so it's looking quite nice. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have the sun on it, so it doesn't shine as much, but you know, it is what it is. Now we're just putting some hedges along the side of the path, and yeah, hedges. I did want to make this park quite full of foliage, make it quite floral, because Lilienburg in German literally translates to Lily Castle. So lily is like a flower, obviously, and that is why there's also a lily flower in the logo for this park. And the castle part, well, if you hang tight and hold on, keep watching this series, you'll see what the castle bit's all about. That's all I'm going to say. That will be coming a lot later once we've started to get these first things in, and I'll explain what the castle is for, because yeah. But this building, again, inspired by the one at RoterBlitz. Well, it's the same as what I was. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh my god. Yeah, so some glass, and yeah, little outside seating area here, and I thought I really liked how that seating area sort of comes away from the building, and it's looking a little bit over the main street path. And we're just making some tables. We did do a restaurant interior, but again, I didn't record that. I'm sorry, guys, man. Some of these videos are just going to be really poor because I don't record everything. I mean, yeah, but anyway, I did record this, and I'm really happy with this. This is a chimney. Well, I guess I'm not really happy with it because there's something else I wanted to do which I couldn't think of a way how to do it. But yeah, you do see these classic brick chimneys quite traditionally in you know, in industrial areas, so it fits the steampunk theme very well. But what I wanted to do with these is have it so that it's a little bit wider at the bottom and it almost goes up in a cone shape, and that's what some of them do. But I couldn't find a good enough way to do that, so I used the brick pillars, rotated them around so that it looks like a circle, and then yeah, we put some big smog coming out of the chimneys because it's a steampunk, you know, that kind of I would say Victorian, but it's in Germany, so they obviously didn't have Queen Victoria. Yeah, so the smoke coming out of the chimneys, obviously, you know, climate change, it's brilliant. Come on, we need more carbon dioxide in the air, don't we, guys? And yeah, we're now moving, no, we're not moving on to the next, I mean, we sort of are. Yeah, we're just putting some pipes in. This is just a little bit of a filler wall so that the main building, the exit path, can then join up to the restaurant. So this doesn't really have much of a purpose. It just, yeah, I don't want to go over the top with this already because it's quite laggy, the park, for me already, and we're still just building the first thing. So I think if I really wanted to, I could have added a little bit more detail in here and there, but I still want it to look good. But again, realistic for a park of this size. They're not going to have the same budget of Phantasialand to build something like RoterBlitz, but I do want to make these buildings still look pretty nice, even though they're not as, you know, they're not as in depth, because it is just a facade, really. That's it. It's not like you're being surrounded by massive walls of buildings the same way you are in RoterBlitz. This is just a facade to cover the front of this ugly looking building. But yeah, I made some custom windows there, just so it looks like a big massive warehouse. And yeah, covering up the indoor queue line, which does almost feel like a warehouse as well. That's where the boiler room is, I guess. That's what I called it last time, I think. But yeah, that's where there is a boiler and there's some cogs, and somehow the cogs spin really, really fast, and they launch this roller coaster and make it go around the circuit. Did I sound like a GP there? I think I might. Yeah, anyway, now on to the next bit. This is a big copper roof, and again we're making another roof here, but this one isn't copper because it's grey. Because did you know that when copper it oxidizes, it goes like this greeny colour, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, we are, I guess, approaching the end of this video now. I think there's still some more to go, so I don't know why I said that. But yeah, I wanted to have a bit of variety, And again, I looked at RoterBlitz to make these big curved roofs, and I will add detail to them after, probably off camera. I think next episode we're going to be working on a new flat ride which complements this area, and you'll see what that is soon. But yeah, pretty cool. We are, finishing off this whole building, putting some roofs on, and we're not anymore. We're now doing some foliage, rocks, shrubbery. I want this to still look nice, like I said before, floral, that kind of thing. So the trees also do quite a good job here of covering up this ugly backstage building, so from the brake run on the queue line you won't be able to see the building. But that's the end of the video now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.